And welcome back to another wonderful video with Mr. Vong. In this lesson, I'm going to show you guys how to create student email. This is what we do every year at Sepulveda Middle School. We first go to our student database and we extract all of our students' information. It could be all the incoming 6th graders, probably consisting of around 1,000 6th graders coming in. We have to create username and password for them. We also have to create emails. So there's a long list of things that we do. Today, I'm just going to show you guys how to do a simple email and a username. First, I will show you how to import the data from the school information system. You're going to have a data and you're going to bring it in. It's just going to contain students' first name and last name. You'll be using a few new functions. First one is lower. What lower does is it changes the text to lowercase. Pretty simple. And here's an example of how it looks like. Equal lower C1. That means lowercase everything that's inside the cell C1. Another function is left. It extracts the text character from a word. For example, if I have the word Vong in C1, if I write down equal left C1 comma 1, that means that whatever word that is in C1, in this case it's Vong, the first character would be V. So in this function will extract the letter V out of Vong because it's number 1. Now if you put a number 2 here, it would extract a U because the second letter of my name is VU. Okay? The third function is concatenate. Concatenate means to join. Now what it does is it connects text strings from different cells. For example, if I am concatenating a few letters from different cells and I want to put specific symbols within those, this is how it would look like. Equal concatenate whatever the text is in A1, and everything's separated by commas, right? Wherever the text is in A1 plus the symbol at whatever is in A3 and put LAUSD. Now when I join that, it's gonna all come in together. Everything's gonna be in A1 with that symbol, and A3 and then LAUSD. We're gonna be using that to join a student's email account. Okay, and that's about it. So let's get started. First of all, I just want to let you should be in Schoology. You should download a text that's called student name. You can download that anywhere you want. I put mine on my desktop, and we're going to take this text file. This text file is a file that contains student names that we extracted from the school information system. We're going to take this text file, we're going to import it into Google Sheets, and I'm going to show you how to do that. But before we do that, let me show you the end product. Now, if I bring it in, if I bring that data, it looks just like this. It has, first name, it has last name, and that's all uppercase. That's the reason why we're going to be using that lower function to bring it down to lowercase. Now this is how it looks like initially, okay? And when it's done, this is how it's going to look like afterwards. Now you have a list of students' email and their login. The email is the first letter of the first name and their last name at lausd.net. And their login is the first name dot last name, which you guys should already know. So this is what our end product looks like. Now, in order to get here, we have to do all of this extraction, and I'm going to show you how to do that right now. Okay, I am going to create a new Excel, spreadsheet. It's going to open up, and now since this is blank, let's give it a name. I'll call it email and login. Also on the bottom, rename it email login, and I like to give my worksheet a color. Pick any color you like. I'm just gonna go with yellow. Now how do I bring in my text, my data? I'm gonna go to click on A2 because that's where I want to put the data. Select it first, and I'm gonna go to File, Import. When I click on import, it's going to give me several options to import. I can import it from a shared file, recent file, and uploaded file, okay, or whatever's in the content of my drive. Since I have it downloaded to my my desktop, I'm going to click upload, select the file, navigate to my desktop, and I'm going to look for it. And there it is. If for some reason the file does not show up, you need to select the file type and make sure you select all files. And select student name. It's going to begin to upload, And it gives you some choices here. Now what we want to do, I don't want to create a new spreadsheet because I already have one. I gave it a name, so I'm going to put in here, replace the current sheet. That means whatever's in there, I'm going to put my current sheet in here, and then it's going to ask me what kind of separator do I have. I know that I extracted the file as a tab delimited file, so I'm going to select tab delimited and click import, and now it's going to bring it in. Oh, actually I didn't put it into the A2 that I wanted to. That's not a problem. Okay, so now I have all the names of all the students. B column will be the first name, A column is the last name. I want to put some labels on top here. So to do that, I am going to right click and I'm going to insert a row above. Now what that does, it pushes everything down and inserts a row above. Okay. I'm going to put the student's first name here. Since I'm going to extract the first name here, I'll put the last name here. Let's do that first. And now for the first function, I am going to extract this out and make it lowercase. And I don't know if you remember, the lowercase is lower, and the function looks like this: equal, lower, and the cell location. Let's go back and take a look at that. Now the first name is B2, so I'm going to click equal, lower. Let me zoom in a bit so you can see this. There it is. Equal, lower. And what am I going to set to lowercase? The first name. There it is. Enter. Okay. There it is. Now it's all lowercase. Now I'm going to do the same thing for the last name. Equal, lower, open parentheses. That's it. Now I'm not going to go ahead and do the same for all of the other names because I can always copy this down later on. Okay. Now I have the first name, last name. In F1, I'm going to type in email. And in G1, I'll be typing in login. Now the reason why I'm leaving this blank is because the email is going to be the first letter of the first name and the last name. Okay, so I need to extract the first letter of the first name. If you guys remember from the document 1, you're going to see to extract the first letter of any character, I have to use left, comma, 1, the first character. So I'm going to show you how to do that right now. Equal left, open parentheses, and I want to extract this letter, the A. So I'm just like C2, comma, 1. And when I do that, it's going to show the letter A. Now we're going to go in here and I type in, zoom in a bit more. If I type in 2 here, it's going to show me the R. The A and the R, I'm sorry. Okay. And if I go 3, it'll be ARA. I just want the first letter, so I'm going to go in, I'm just going to change that back to 1. Okay. Now it shows as an A. Now here comes the hard part. I'm going to go ahead, if I go to this line here and I double click, it's going to actually bring it in to the width of whatever the letter is. Now on email, the email is going to be the first letter of the first name, the last name at lausd.net. Now what I'm going to be using to do that is concatenate. Concatenate will join. Now if I be joining text, I need to put quotations, and everything is separated by commas. Okay, let's take a look at this. Equal sign, I will move over a bit more and I am going to zoom in even more for you. Okay, so equal sign, concatenate, open parentheses, and what's my first thing I'm going to concatenate? I'm going to concatenate E2. No? E2, comma, remember everything's separated by commas. E2, and then I need the last name, which is going to be D2. So it's going to add A and then the last name, and I need to put in the at. Now I got to put a comma to separate that, and at, since it's a text, I have to put it in quotation at lausd.net. Close up the quotation, close up the parentheses, and press enter. Now, oops, it did not work. Why is that? Concatenate 3. Nope, concatenate. There it is. Enter. When I have that done, it should work. There it is. I'm going to stretch this out a little bit more so you can see that. Now, you got the first letter of the first name, the last name at lausd.net. Now let's take a look at over here in the login. And the login is a typical login that you guys have, which is the first name dot last name. Again, I'll be using concatenate to do this. Let's see if you can figure this out. Equal sign concatenate, open parentheses, first name, comma. Now the period, since it's a character, I have to put in quotation with a dot. That's the dot, comma again, the last name. I'm gonna press enter. There it is. Now I have the first name dot last name. All done. Now since this is all done, I'm gonna go ahead. I am gonna zoom back out. And when I zoom back out, let me move over. And I'm gonna copy all of this down. Just make sure that all your formula is correct, because if you have a wrong formula and you copy it down, now you have a lot of wrong formulas. So I'm gonna highlight this whole entire column here. Go to the end. Click on the crosshair and drag all the way down to the bottom. And once when I let go, everything should be done and everything should be correct. Now the only thing we should be concerned about is just this area right here, because the rest we don't really care. That's how we generate all of these first name, last name, and logins and emails. Okay, and that's about it. That's the end of the lesson. And that's what we do every year when we create 6th grade students' name, logins, passwords, emails.